It's that time again. That's right. We'd like some feedback from you, the viewers. Couple things I'd like to find out about. Number one, questions for the guys and girls at the Gamers Table. Send them in to thegamerstable@hotmail.com, and we will compile a list of the top 10, 15 or so, and we will answer them on our end of the year, last of the season episode. So that'll come sometime in December. So you got lots of time to send in your questions. Questions about anything. We don't care what it is. Send in your questions. The top 10 will make it. You could start a campaign with your friends to get a really stupid question in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Now, other things we have going on. Coming up, we have our anniversary show that's coming up in October, I believe. Early October. I'll have to check the date. It'll be right here. Bing! And for that one, we want, hey, you remember this from last time? We want your favorite moments. So you have until September 30th. I'll make the date for sure. I think it's September 30th to get in your favorite moment from the Gamers Table. That's all 4 seasons of the Gamers Table, including the Gamers Table Independent Edition, which is wrapping up its 2nd season in December of this year. And we will compile the top 10 of those and show you the top 10 favorite moments as voted by you, and we'll show our favorite moments from the last few years of the shows. And we will draw a couple lucky names, and they will win prize packs from the Gamers Table. That's right. Games and other paraphernalia, buttons, magnets, that sort of thing, sign stuff. It'd be all cool. So you want to do that. So get ready and send in your favorite moment. It means you're going to have to go back probably and watch some of the shows. It's kind of nice if you go back on YouTube to the user FBN Dude. That's the channel for the Gamers Table. Don't ask me to explain why that's the title of it. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and Independent Season 1, all of them are playlists, so you can just click it and you watch all the way through. And what we want you to do is say the show that your favorite moment is in, and roughly the time where that moment appears at. So we look forward to seeing your entries and showing you some interesting stuff. Now there's one more thing coming up. You're not really going to have a lot of interaction in this, but you know it's coming. We do it every year. Our Halloween episode is coming up. What game would you guys like us to do for the Halloween episode? It should be something sort of with a Halloween or a scary kind of theme, sort of a monster type game. You've seen some of the ones we've done in the past. You've seen the kind of shows we've done in the past. So let us know what we can do. Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It is Monday.
Hi.
And we're reviewing
Evo. Not emo. Evo. These are not emo dinosaurs.
Okay, now this is what... Sorry, that's different emo.
It's very pretty. Very, very pretty.
In Evo, you play a nomadic people in symbiosis with a primitive reptilian species. You travel the wild open spaces of Kumtag with your mounts. You will use your knowledge of biology to help them adapt and succeed against both the hostile and changing climate and other competing species. Technically, you will earn mutation points, MP, in the remainder of the rules during the course of the game. The player with the most at the end of the game is a winner. In the event of a tie, the player with the most dinosaurs wins. If the game is still dried, it's a draw.
Draw, partner. There's not a whole lot of rules to explain, so it's fairly easy to bring in people who are maybe not so familiar with games.
We have a game that is about keeping your dinosaurs alive. There's a big giant asteroid that's going to slam into the planet and wipe them all out anyway. But there's this race of aliens who's trying to keep them alive. It plays different number of players, and you use a different board, right down to different size boards, depending on how many players there are. Yep.
2-player board, 3-player board.
4 and 5 player board.
And then the 4-player board, and then the 5-player board. 2 to 5 players.
Everybody starts with $6.
The victory points also count as your currency for bidding for stuff, which can be it's just a bit of a struggle because it's sort of like, well, 6 victory points can go a long way in a game that between 30 and 40 will win you the game. So it's a bit of a struggle. Okay, is that power really worth 5 victory points? In some cases, it certainly is, but it's just that struggle whether you go for it or not.
And we take these, and these are the discs of fate. Pull out the one that's a meteor, put that in the bottom 3, shuffle those around, shuffle so nobody sees, then put all these on top of them. And these are going to tell you how the climate wheel changes. The climate wheel tells you what areas on the map are safe, what areas on the map are too hot, what areas are too cold, what areas will just outright kill your ass.
Well, your dinosaurs at least.
Yes.
If it killed you, it'd probably be a whole different game. With like
Page 4.
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as Dino Hunter Killers. So there's a lot of different aspects in this game. There's area control with the dinosaurs on the board. There's the randomness of what's going to die and when. There's bidding aspects of it. There's cards full of douchebaggery. And there's combat. So there's something for a lot of different
Simple
people.
combat.
Yeah.
And everyone gets their own player board, and they all nicely illustrated pictures. And you have over here the amount of movement you guys have. So you start with 2 collective movement that you get to move all your dinosaurs with. Then you have a spot for your horns here, for your hot resistance, cold resistance, how many babies you make, and then
Any special powers.
any various special miscellaneous powers that don't fall under.
Nice pictures is kind of an understatement. This game is gorgeous.
It's a pretty game.
It's very pretty, very colorful, everything. Just the artwork on it is fan-freaking-tastic. Awesome. I think it's like right up there with Cyclades and other games like that for the artwork. Like everything's got even nice artwork on the back and stuff. It's just awesome.
And even your
Love
little wooden pieces aren't cubes. They're actual dinosaurs, brachiosaurs of some stripe or another. 5 colors, odd choices: black, blue, red, purple, and pink. I guess we're thinking because it's dinosaurs, you might actually get more family-oriented play and might actually have some girls playing the game. So we better have pink. Because only girls want pink, right? And Ken. Anyway,
You know
so...
what they say about purple there?
Yeah.
Tinky winky.
Whatever. You set out these and you flip one over,
The
and
army
it will
of
tell you
Barneys.
how many and what direction you spin the old dial. After you do that, then you will pull out from the bag that's upside down a number of these tokens, one less than the number of players, and you may not duplicate. So if you pull out a vial, you cannot have another vial, so you'll just have to put that back. You put those out, and then everybody takes turn bidding, and they're bidding their victory points to buy these various different things, the extra movement base, the heat, hot and cold resistance, all the different places that Chris showed you. And like Cyclades and Amon-Ra and other bidding stuff, if somebody overbids you, you must immediately move, and you cannot overbid on the same track. Now, notice I said one less than number of players. There's always the consolation prize of the card.
Well, in some cases, the card is the best prize.
Yeah,
It can be, yeah.
because a lot of time there's some sneaky cards in here. There's one, it's the Horde of Rats. Nobody gets to birth any babies this turn.
Yeah.
So if you have that card and you're sitting there saying, oh, geez, everybody's got a really good plan. They think they're going to do so well. And I'm already not got anywhere where any of my babies came out. Instead of turn, everybody's birth. Oh, no babies this round. No dinosaurs for anyone. Anyways, after you birth the babies, you go through this. And anywhere that a dinosaur would not survive, you take that dinosaur off the board. Once that is done, every dinosaur you have left on the board will score you 1 victory point.
Now you might think, oh, I got my heat resistance. All my dinosaurs are good in that. No, the 1 heat resistance token per dinosaur you want to save.
Right.
So if you want your whole herd of dinosaurs to be heat resistant, that's going to be a lot of tokens that you got to bid for.
And it comes out randomly. We had one game where for the whole game, 1 heat and 2 colds, all that came out.
Yeah.
There were a lot of vials and stuff. People could bid like crazy, but there was nothing to protect your dinosaurs.
That's true. Yeah, and if you're stuck in certain areas or whatever, and you don't have that heat resistance, you're gonna have to move on, or the other cold resistance, and then you're gonna probably end up in combat or something. So actually, you get extra teeth and stuff to help you fight, or horns or whatever it is. But I actually found the heat resistance and cold resistance a lot better. It's better when somebody can't get to you than just having a little bit more fight capability. I think just avoid it altogether, and then you're more likely to survive.
Combat is
very simple.
the attacker rolls this die. If he rolls the X, he loses. If he rolls the horn, he wins. If he rolls horn equal, if he has an equal or greater number of horns than his opponent, he wins. If he rolls the horn plus and he has 1 more horn than his opponent, he wins. Rolls the horn plus, he has to have at least 2 more horns and he wins. If he does not win the roll, he removes his dinosaur. Now the only caveat to that particular rule is you can never have less than 2 dinosaurs. So if somebody attacks you and wins and you would lose one of your last 2 dinosaurs, your dinosaur just retreats to a new area. He can't be taken off the board.
It's nice. There's no player elimination in this game.
Hello, it's time for another D&D update. Some really interesting stuff been coming out from Wizards of the Coast lately. First here we got the Dungeons of Dread, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons by good old Gary Gygax, guy that made it all in the first place. So what this particular book is the original modules that came out those many years ago. A lot of you watching this show probably aren't even old enough to remember when D&D was actually like this. So, everything that's in there that was in the original ones, stuff like, the preface, here's a note for the Dungeon Master only, the stuff that you're supposed to read to the players, spaceships, robots, pictures, everything, so you can show the players, get them into the game more. Because it was a game of the imagination back then. And all the maps, all the stuff you need, all the monsters, everything. Back from the heyday of Dungeons & Dragons when it was all pen and paper, all guys sweaty guys locked in a basement somewhere, which actually sounds kind of disturbing. But, so this is old stuff that you might not ever have experienced before. So if you're into that, you'd like to look at the history of D&D, or you'd like to play some of those old modules, you got a group that's interested in a little bit more than, fight, rest, fight, rest, fight. Puzzles, traps, differentiated characters. They don't all do the same thing. Might want to look at this. And we got another one here. And the books really look good, too. That's something I would like to point out that you can see because I'm holding it up for you. But these books are they're nice options for the outsider. It feels good. And it's got that shiny metal look to it. So this is the Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 Spell Compendium. Yeah, not the 4 or 5 spells that you have then. Everything. All the spells way back. Beautiful illustration. Wizards of the Coast, as I said, does a great job on these books. This one is all the stuff from 3.5. So, wow, everything. I just love looking at this stuff because back when I was playing role-playing games a lot, this is where a lot of the inspiration for the stuff I created came from. These sort of wonderful spell lists, everything, Crown of Glory, Crumble, Curse of Ill Fortune, Cutting Hand, Dire Stance spell, Dream Casting, Dragon Sight, Dragon Breath, Frost Breath. It's all in here. So again, if you want to add a little bit more spice to your game, a little bit more than the spells on the spell cards that every wizard has, every spellcaster is toting about, maybe you want to grab this because it gives you a little more options. I'm thinking you could probably bring these into D&D 4th edition or into D&D Next when it comes out. I know it is coming out fairly soon. We'll have to see how they work together. It would be nice if they did, because there's a lot of options in here. It makes your character not like every other character when you've got 600 or 700 spells to choose from. And you can go down a much different route. You can learn a lot different things than everybody else. So there you go. Have it. There's a couple really nice books. Wizards of the Coast is putting out more stuff all the time. There is a website online where you can download a lot of the original books. Some of them are even free. I mean, they seem to have like a weekly deal or something where one of the old ones is free and you can download it and you can play that, or maybe add it to your campaign. Or just look at it and see how things were done back in the old days, back before the computers. Even though it's on computer in a PDF, it's back before those days when computers filled up this entire studio and were less powerful than your average cell phone. But I digress. Anyways, these are a couple really good books. Even if you're not currently into D&D playing, if you have a bit of nostalgia for it, these might be especially Dungeons of Dread, picking that up for some reminders of how things used to be in your misspent youth. See you bye. Wrapping up for Evo theme. Oh, yeah, all over the place. Nothing about this breaks the theme. I mean, you could, again, like many games, you could put a different theme on this, but everything here works together, and you're never thinking, well, this doesn't make sense. No, it all flows together. Easy to play? Yeah. As Chris said, there's strategy and where you're putting your stuff and what powers you're bidding on and when to use the cards, but there's not a lot of mechanics to learn. I got the die roll. I placed my dinosaurs. I got bid. Okay, I think I got this. And fun to play. Well, it's a dinosaur game, so there's a little extra points in it for that. But
if you like it, yeah.
It's combative, but it doesn't make anybody feel picked on. It's got the strategy to it to make you actually think. And with the secret token thing, you don't know how much anybody's got. You can sort of do that creep around, just staying away from everybody, just not causing any trouble and building up my points. I gave Evo a 9.
I enjoy the game quite a bit. It's certainly well produced. Like the artwork and everything is fantastic on this. The mechanics, I like the bidding thing, and it's not too overpowered or anything like that. You get to cards really help, and I didn't get too many in the games I played. I pretty much went for some of the other things. Mostly attack. The horns and things like that. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I enjoy the game quite a bit, and so does my little friend here.
It's simple to learn. There's enough strategy to keep it interesting as well. Yeah. There's some definite douchebaggery, which is always a plus. I give Evo an 8.
So that's it for this episode of The Gamers Table. Tune in next week, where we review another game.
'Cause that's what we do.
Ah!
Here.
I won't read it in dinosaur. And I got nothing.
One small step for man, one